Good afternoon, viewers. It is 18 March 2022. Got a pretty good video coming at you here this afternoon. It's, well, first of all, I'd like to thank our creator so that we can have the awareness that we have to share with each other. So, Sam the Illusionist had a channeling session with, Archangel Metatron. It was back on 1 February, and it has to do with the sun and the artificial sun. So I'm going to be talking about that and show you some interesting videos associated with it. So again, this was from Sam the Illusionist, using a new art form called angelic channeling that many people are doing either through writing or through offering up their throat chakra through a high self allowance so that the angels can speak to us, Michael and Metatron. And we're told, I just learned that Metatron has had a human incarnation at some point, and Metatron is electronic energy, so that's a high level award right there. So I'll be doing videos on the identification of the Seraphim and the Elohim in a consolidated kind of way from other people, because I don't do channeling myself yet. So here's the content of what we were presented, and it's very important for you guys to understand now. Even though this occurred on 1 February, we're in a window right now where we are receiving a lot of cosmic energy because there are solar flares in different classes that are emitting from our sun, which is the most powerful object in our solar system. And in addition to that, there's like a true original, or there's a central sun, and it's all tied to the multiverse and our sun and our solar system. So I'm going to be identifying some solid facts about all this that I hope you guys take in, because it's all about awareness at this point. So just to start up here in looking at the stars, when you go out at night, if you pretend that this is sort of a square box, you've got Sirius down here, and then Orion's belt, and you've got Aldebaran, where the Arians are from. So there's a roughly equivalent distance between these two, and it's not to scale, obviously. But our creator, like the first frequency vibration where everything started from to eventually get to where we are, is located past the belt here. And this is where Yeshua ben Joseph, this is where his universal point of origin is, because he's a wanderer. Dolores Cannon was from Andromeda. Donald Trump is from Mars. My sister is from Venus. And everyone has a universal point of origin. Mark Zuckerberg was from Maldek, which is an extinguished planet that he helped to destroy, and he's in our collective. So here's what's going on now on the good news of the sun and where we're going. We're getting these cosmic rays now, and you should be outside and soaking them up, going to the beach as we have our whole life. But this is about awareness, okay? You've now been Christed. Yeshua planned it, executed it, and he's sharing it with you now. So this is the second coming. This is lightning that has struck in the east and flashed in the west, and the energy is out there already, and it's just about loving one another. It's that simple. It's very simple. But to optimize yourself in a non-jealous way, in a non-competitive way, just to be optimized as a child of the light, the guidance now is to be out in the sun. For what reason? Well, the sun is the brightest object, as I mentioned, and it's an expression of our Creator. Sophia, love and light, consciousness. We're God chips, so this is transmittal of information. And what are we getting? Well, we're getting recharging facilities from the energy. We know we get vitamins from that sunlight, and it happens to be, last year we had consciousness and past life revelations that were being introduced by paying attention to the sun at the right time. So in addition to that, the recharging capabilities, or from the recharging, we're getting light codes. We're going divine feminine to a crystalline grid. Divine feminine doesn't mean girly homosexual. It means that the vessel is aligned with our Creator, the love and the compassion, the motherhood of the birth. There's lots of analogies you can use to identify divine feminine, but it's expressed in a spiritual body that's perfectly tuned to the Solfeggio Tesla in all your energy centers. That's how it is. Both men and women have both divine feminine and divine masculine attributes that have nothing to do with beating the hell out of each other. So that's the way that goes. When you receive these light codes and you are waking up to who you are, there's healing that's going on because you've done some crazy things. You realize it. You need help. There's so many ways to heal. This happens to be one of them. And you don't have to be laying out on a blanket like I'm showing here, but oh boy, this is kind of the way to do it. Not overexposing it because you'll roast like I do. So it's managed, but it should be done. Because this healing is love and light exposure of the divine grid programmer. That's Sophia from back here. This is where it's from. This is the deference of what's coming. This has all been constructed for you, the body out here. So take advantage of it. Here's the analogy of where we are right now in our space-time continuum. We made it. He hung on the cross. He went out of body. He came back, and we made it. Because of him, it's happening. And Mommy wants a family picture now. We're learning who the Dracos are, who the insectoids are, and there's good, bad, and indifferent in all the characters, and Lucifer's coming back on Nibiru. And if everybody wants an upgrade, everybody who's participated, they forgive themselves, they tell the truth, they self-disclose, and we take a snapshot of, hey, we did it, what a system, and then life goes on. For us, it's going to go on this way. I'm going to describe it. But this is kind of where we are right now, and it's a choice. You don't want to be a part of this. You want to make more war and do a bunch of Ukraine against Russia, against whatever. It's all we do. You'll be a victim of it, and I'm going to speak to that. So the original sun is the creator of this galaxy. The Milky Way is our galaxy. And, there are universes and galaxies, multiple. So we, as God chips, we're incarnated, incarnate. And because of our awareness, same configuration, but simply understanding ourselves inside, we can self-acknowledge and self-authenticate that we've been Christed. We forgive ourselves, we love our fellow man, and we're doing what he told us that we should do. And it's very simple. It's easy. As he said, his burden's light. So this is where we're at now. And with it's come new information about not only dimensions, which are measurements, and we're going to a fifth dimensional reality, but there's also densities of awareness. It starts with being, plant below the plant life, everything below seeds, and I've spoken about it before. As humans, we get a shot at third density, which we all are right now. And because of awareness, we're going to fourth density with our planet. It's awareness. She's a living being. I drew a little bit of Gaia right here. That's her name. She's over 4 million years old. And we the lit, aware forevers, help to form the being in awareness that's now her, and she's on her second ride. So as a human right now, because you are aware of what's happening, we're on a path. Human, children of the light, not the darkness. So because of what Yeshua accomplished with his meat suit and reoccupying it, and then recovering, resurrecting, and then ascending, two separate incidents, we have a divine inheritance that's coming for 1,000 years. And you bet he's coming back here. But we have to get tuned up and understand who's coming back. He's our equal. And right now, people are so screwed up, they'll be confused about it. So it has to be done in a deliberate, orchestrated way with awareness of extraterrestrials and his fit as the king, so that everybody is, vibrating correctly and not stunned, and hiding their faces like Allah just showed up. It's not supposed to be like that. You're supposed to rise up. You're God, okay? So is he. So until you get your God up, he can't come to be the God that you think that he is in the middle of your blessing, hanging on the cross in the middle, because he's not. So that's a big problem. It's a part of the false light. So just to let you know what's going to happen with us, the Bible's closing. We're 666. Protons, neutrons, and electrons. CO2 is what carbon is. If you break down the molecule, this is an atomic number. So I'm just putting that on the man side, and hue is light, H-U-E. It's photons, it's angstroms, it's adamantine particles that are coming through cosmic energy. For us, it's quantum. It's quantum. You're down at the blood cell level with surface activity happening on your blood cells. And it's awareness. It's multiple dimensions. And it's multiversal. And it's natural. So people are making choices like so many. And I'm just going to describe that one of them's diet. And the guidance we're given is from being a carbon exchange human by breath air in, the time to choose, we eat ourselves. Look at the snake eating themselves. That's the divine grid programmer. That's the quantum balance of life. Consuming and consumed. So because of where we are now, the guidance is rooted consciousness, because it's not making decisions on what it wants to do without us chopping a head off to eat it. I'm putting it my way, but that's what we're being told about. We're going to refine this down over time, guys. It's going to, if you're nervous about, oh my goodness, like me, no more cheese, no more eggs, well, right now they're in my shot group, because it's not a walking, talking, an egg is not a walking, talking thing if it's not fertilized. Nor is cheese. It's postpartum, stuff. And so I know I'm alright. I feel good about it. But I also know that as we move forward and the fidelity goes up and the longer range guidance comes into play, the different types of plants are going to start to get, we'll probably go more superfood and bang for the buck and just optimizing everything based upon the guidance that we've been told. And way down the road, we're going to go to a sixth sense, which is water that's in the air that you can see. And you can do that now if you go out there and daze your eyes and look in meditation. I drew these numbers here because they're tied to fourth density octaves and where we're going in fourth density. It starts up in the heart, and then your chest is like 2 and 3 because your breathing is expansive. And that's 5 million years of, wow, that stuff. I mean, we're going for a long ride, folks. This is 5 and 6 in fourth density, and as fast as you want to do it, I suppose we got to go as a group, and yet there's going to be ones that show us how to get there. And I'm talking about bilocation. 30% here in skin suits on the planet as air suits. You know, I said meat suits up here, so it's kind of air suits now. This transformation is going to be, it's sort of like the beings that are on Mount Shasta right now, to an extent, because there is a consciousness of Lemuria that is on Mount Shasta. And you just can't see them because they vibrate too high. But as we vibrate up, we'll have that visibility because we'll be more at their energy level. So they've been able to see us, and they're waiting for us, and everybody's thrilled that we're heading up. And the process is it's kicked off already. And there are people out at Mount Shasta right now that are lost because they're the old form of Lemuria, and they don't believe in reincarnation. And now there's a process, and everybody will get their chance to refine. It's okay. It's just very frustrating to me when I see these beautiful angels that have got half their stuff together, and they get closed-minded. This is where we are as a understanding, refined, fact-based pathway as to where we're going. We are children of the light, and we are children of our Creator, and we're going to be light beings down the road in bilocation. So when you're doing your bamboo light being day 5 million years from now, and most of your time is being done in high fidelity bilocation, we will be so familiar with each other as a group and unified. How are we blossoming out? It's just going to be quantum, because from here we've got future eons and new suns. And if you listen to Linda Good McGillis, who's another divine feminine encoder of Sophia, she tells you about where we're going when we close out the library here on our earth and proceed in unity consciousness with Christ as our King, Yeshua having given it to the Marys and the divine feminine. So that's what's coming. So that's all sort of this. I think I've said enough about it. It's really good news, and I'm on that train, and you need to be on it too. And if you're not, and you decide you want to go the carne fish consumption route, you'll be dust. But it may be, it is okay for you. If you want to do that, do it. You're going to go back to your realm, but you won't be a member of our collective because you will be consumed by your desire to consume. And it is what it is. Nobody gets demoted. You know, you get a lateral transfer to another storyboard, and eventually you adhere to creator guidance to get back home, to discover the truth within that I'm describing. So right now, at this point in time, the swing box has gone to China. We all kind of know this. Even though the Ukraine and Russia are percolating right now, it's all draconian influence, and we've just heard that the Ark of the Covenant is in the Ukraine. But I'd like to talk about the developments going on in China. You know, they've got all the technology. They've been the center of gravity on these developments, and they have, in their swing here as the dragon, they're putting together an artificial sun. And I'm going to show you some videos on it to see that it's a real thing. And Sam the Illusionist spoke about it in the channeling and talked about, let's talk the upper level points of view as to what this thing is. It's designed to obscure this. So go Bill Gates, you know, the cloudy day imitation of, we don't want this, we want dreary. We want dreary by, like, you know, it's a bad day. So in exchange for that, we want this, which I'm going to show you that they've pulled off. with supercomputing energy kind of stuff, and they're talking about temperatures that are pretty damn impressive as far as what they're up to right now. And I'm just letting you know before we watch this that the spin doctors of the world, see, Sam and Metatron didn't use these terms, but we on the ground here are calling it clean energy, because it's more of this, it's very ironic, because when the ETs offered us nuclear power control in America, the deal was don't blow each other up with it and use it for energy. And Eisenhower said no, and because of that, the abductions began of taking humans. Secret space program and all these other things were an extension of Eisenhower's decision, hey, we want the nuclear bombs in America. So now along comes China. Not too long later, we're only talking about, what, 60, 80 years, and here they are. And they've got this capability now. So I'm going to show you what it can do, but I'm trying to set you up with kind of the psyop that's coming our way and what we're supposed to be doing about it. Okay, so these videos are on BitChute, and I'm going to attach them to the presentation. I'm going to show two of them.
The fusion reactor in China has set a new record for sustained high temperatures after running 5 times hotter than the sun for more than 17 minutes, according to the state news. The experimental advanced superconducting tokamak East, known as an artificial sun, reached temperatures of 70 million degrees Celsius during the experiments, according to the Xinhua news agency. The ultimate aim of developing the artificial sun device is to deliver near limitless clean energy by mimicking the natural reactions occurring within the stars. The recent operation lays
This
a
is quantum
scientific
computing.
experimental foundation towards the running of the fusion reactor. This comes from Gong, a researcher at the Institute of Plasma Physics of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, who led the latest experiment. The East Project, which has already cost China more than 700 billion pounds, will run the experiment until June. Nuclear fusion has been touted as the holy grail of clean energy production. However, it remains a long way from being realized outside of the laboratory despite the decades of research into the technology. For Headlines with a Voice, this has been the Lockhart News Brief.
So there you go with that. I'll show you one more actual demonstration pretty quick. Let me get a load of this. So I guess they got this thing lifting off at millions of degrees Celsius, and you know, that's what we're looking at with this thing that's on the street right now. So, you know, you get the idea where we're at, and we're kind of in the we're in the last part of the tribulation, and the Orions from Draco land are working with the Chinese. Now the Chinese are on the far side of the moon, and they said, Sam said, and through Metatron, there's like a contractual thing happening for these guys because they get their turn in the box. So go with the Li family. Look for that name. You know, the leader of China, his name is Xi. So I don't know that that's a correct analogy there, but it's just their turn. And communism is fake. It's illuminated stuff, and now they're... So it's like we need to have the Tiananmen Square model of bravery to say, hey, what are you guys doing? Why do you want to, under the lie? It's an overt lie, because this is of our Creator. Natural sunlight is of your Creator, okay? The original from up here. And this is fake, and they want to get it to a point where everybody's focused that way while they're stopping this, and that thing isn't going to make the plants grow. It's going to eventually starve everything out And if we choose to do that, then we are making a choice almost like we were the Council of Planets deciding what needed to happen to the dinosaurs. But we'd be doing it to ourselves. Because we'll go extinct if we go down this path. You know, so it's a big extinction route. You eat meat, you're going to die. Now, nobody ever dies. They go where they're supposed to go. Our job now is to prevail over all this, to be here, to let it all happen, to love one another, and then to be wearing our t-shirts when this is all over. And all the crazy greed, fear, that was another key thing. They want fear. Negative love and fear. I mean, how they're going to pull this off, it must have something to do with their social behavior system. It's a combination of all the madness coming artificial. And all we're supposed to do is stay close to nature, love each other, and stay out and get sun exposure because of the cosmic window that we're in right now. Okay, so it's cosmic, man. It's cosmic. And there's nothing to be scared about, but you just saw the videos. I mean, they're really doing it. They were good at the firecrackers, and they've got a real artificial sun, and they're saying 7 times hotter than the sun. Come on. That's mind-boggling, to be perfectly honest. And we need to rise up when the time comes and be opposed where we need to be. So have peace and love one another. Love everything. Have a good one. Bye.